If you've read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, you've probably heard that the Silmarillion is the natural next step to continue your immersion in the legends of Middle-earth. There's just one problem. The Silmarillion can be a really difficult book to get into and complete. You won't find many familiar characters or places, and as Tolkien himself acknowledged, the book is intimidating to the average reader because of the conspicuous lack of one thing: hobbits. In this series of short videos, my goal is to help you understand and get the most out of your reading of the Silmarillion by introducing you to its characters, themes, and plot lines. Each video will be focused on a group of chapters of the Silmarillion and is designed to be watched before reading that section. But first, let's talk about the background, overall plot, and structure of the book. The earliest forms of the legends that would become the Silmarillion go back to at least World War I. They began as a way of giving context to the languages Tolkien was creating at that time. After his success with The Hobbit, he envisioned its sequel, eventually known as Lord of the Rings, as taking place against the ancient backdrop of the Silmarillion. Because of this, the Silmarillion is sometimes referred to as a prequel, though in reality its main stories predate and are occasionally referred to within the Lord of the Rings. Although Tolkien had hoped that the Silmarillion would be published in his lifetime, it did not see the light of day until 1977, 4 years after his death. It was finally brought to completion and publication through the effort of his son, Christopher. The plot of the Silmarillion is focused on the early elves, or Eldar, and their great struggle to recover 3 holy jewels known as the Silmarils from the evil Melkor, later known as Morgoth. The story plays out over thousands of years, beginning with the creation story of Middle-earth and finishing with the cataclysmic close of the First Age. The last 2 chapters, Akalabaith and Of the Rings of Power and the Third Age, pick up where the First Age leaves off, and are focused on the history of Númenor, the ancient men from whom Aragorn is descended. I find it is also helpful to think of the Silmarillion in terms of the following groupings. First, the creation account, Ainulindale and Valaquenta. Second, the awakening of the elves, chapters 1 through 5. Third, the darkening of Valinor, chapters 6 through 9. Fourth, the early history of Beleriand, chapters 10 through 17. Fifth, the War of Beleriand and the end of the First Age, chapters 18 through 24. And finally, the Second Age and beyond, Akalabaith and Of the Rings of Power and the Third Age. Like the Lord of the Rings, the Silmarillion is appended with numerous reference materials and a few maps and charts. While these aren't necessarily critical for understanding the Silmarillion on first read, they can be helpful for figuring out the pronunciation of proper names and for understanding the relations of various characters. In the next video, we'll examine Ainulindale, the music of the Ainur, which tells the creation story of Middle-earth, as well as Valaquenta, a catalog of the powerful figures that populate its early history. Special thanks to the artists whose works are featured in this video. Please check out more of their work using the links below. If you'd like a longer discussion of the topics explored in this video, check out my podcast, The Tolkien Road, which includes long conversations about each chapter of the Silmarillion, as well as many other Tolkien works. You can also find handy text guides to each chapter at SilmGuide.com. Check out the links below for more info. Make sure to subscribe to this channel by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the alerts icon to get notified when a new video is released. Thanks for watching, and until next time, Namarie.